Hello, everyone. And we're going to give this 30 seconds so everyone can start joining. Takes a minute for it to register there for you all to start joining. So excited to be here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start now introducing myself. I am Aurora. I am a quantum alchemist, and I practice, and I have also developed the... Can everyone hear me? Right? Let me make sure everyone can hear me. I think everyone can hear me. Very good. Now, yes, which is called basically A.U.R.A. It is a form of hypnosis, alchemy, healing. It is a hypnosis healing technique, and it's called angelic universal regression alchemy. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited to be here. Today's channel is very special, dear one to my heart, and dear really to all humanity, and some knowledge there. And we will be some hidden lost sacred knowledge, and we will be channeling Cleopatra. And I put on eyeliner just for her channel. Just had to point that out. Just plain. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. As you all know, love to treat as Aurora, as who I am. I love to treat others in love, honor, respect, and equalness. And I have been talking to her for a long time, Cleopatra, since the beginning of my awakening, and she's been sharing information with me, bits and pieces of what it was like to be her and some of her memories. I'm so ecstatic to be here and sharing them with you. Now you can find me on risingphoenixaurora.com, where we are certifying A.U.R.A practitioners, A.U.R.A hypnosis healing practitioners on there. And I offer Akashic readings, guided meditations for children, and something that is new that is up on my website as of this morning. However, I will be sending emails out and posting it on my public avenues like Facebook and patreon.com, which is Rising Phoenix Aurora. You can find me there under Patreon. And yes, we have put together a class, a course, which is called Quantum Alchemy Channeling. So exciting to be sharing this with you all. It's at least 8 hours worth of training videos, and as well as I have included, I as a teacher, I'd love to be able to basically follow up with you and see what else you need. So I don't just give a class and a course and then I let you guys be and hopefully you should be good. I like to follow through and be able to set you up for success. So this is a beautiful channeling class with the combination of symbol and sound alchemy, giving you specifics where we are connecting to benevolent beings. It is a combination of these beautiful beings helping us create this beautiful channeling classes. And it's available on my website right now. Keep an eye out for the emails. And something else that I have going on is this month, they asked me to put all the classes that I have on my website on sale. So starting today, they are all 13% off. The classes that you can find under spiritual classes, the creatures, the beautiful mystical creatures class, the angelic class, the 13 elders council that are basically the raw collective that are one within the guardians of the omniverse, and the third eye class all the way up to the 12 chakras. So those 3 classes alongside with the certification of channeling is all on sale for 13% off. And coupon code is 13 off. No capitals. That's all. You just go under my website, go under services, and you type in the coupon code at the end and you'll get 13% off. Again, coupon code 13 off. OFF. Again, ecstatic I am to be sharing that, because as a healer, I love to be able to share what is shared with me. And this is a very beautiful course where you are able to, I am very much a, you could say, detailed. Before my awakening, you could say I was a perfectionist. I love to just, be very detailed with everything. However, it's that part of me that wants to be very detailed and making it very easy for you. However, giving you all these beautiful tools that really are not in any books, and it's ancient knowledge, wisdom, that sacred knowledge that has been lost from us. And Cleopatra will be talking about some of this, and know that these classes do have some of the sacred teachings within it of these long lost books that have been taken from us. Okay, so that's enough about me and those that course. So excited about it. And the reason why I'm excited, if I may add, is because I love to teach that you can do this just as I can do this. I love for you to feel empowered, for you to know that you are a divine, beautiful spirit that can connect to benevolent beings in different dimensions. And we provided those alchemy symbols so that you can connect to each dimension. I love being able to empower you so you understand that you are divinely beautiful. You are just as strong as I am. You are powerful. We are all beautiful equals of the divine, of source creator. We are all fractals of the divine energies. So thank you. Thank you for your support here. Thank you for your support on Patreon. Our subscribers are building. As you know, we communicate messages from the heart. 111. So thank you. Thank you. And if you haven't had any, if you have questions for the channeling today, please do write them under the live. We don't have too many right now, which is good. I think always when a benevolent being can speak, it is easiest when they can just kind of just work through it. And she really is excited to be sharing your story within as much detail as we can in this time and space. So that's going to provide us to be able to share enough. So thank you, thank you. Love you all. I'm going to go ahead and start preparing myself now. And then before we get started, Lily is here. Thank you, Lily. Lily is going to be asking questions if there's any that come up there on the live chat. And then Minnie is in the chat, live chat with you all, answering any questions, guiding there as well. Thank you, Lily. Also supervising. As we know, sometimes we might have beings that might try to distract us from what the actual benevolent being is trying to speak to you all. So they might try to go on chat and distract you all. So yeah, we have them both watching. So thank you both. All right. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I greet you with great love for you and the beautiful spirit that you are. I am Cleopatra, and I have been waiting for this moment for a long time. To share a piece with you of whom I am and whom I was. A beautiful completion this has given me to my essence, to my soul, for there has been a great plan that has been detailedly followed and nurtured beautifully by us. And I shall begin my story in a time as a child. I remember the minute that I could read, the minute that I can learn a teaching, the minute that I can learn another language, I did so. I was a toddler, as you would call it within your time now, when I started to learn to read language. I was only 2. I was born with a mission, a purpose, a knowing that there was much for me to do within the life that I had and the time that I had upon this plane. I was born with much hunger, passion, and empowerment for myself and most importantly for all life. My beautiful father would ensure that he kept me occupied within these teachings. And throughout the years, I grew, and I would read something, and I would align with what felt right within my heart. And I would let go, release of what not felt right in my heart. Little by little, my memories would come back. I was a seer. I could see into the past and I could see into the future. And I can connect to the fractals of me in my past and the fractals and the higher self of me in the higher realms. I embodied this specific phrase that I loved to teach. There are no limitations to limits. There are no limits to limitations. I emanated great love and sovereignty for myself and others. For when I walked with my shoulders up and my head straight forward and my eyes, physical eyes, connecting to all that I saw throughout the years of my growth, all who met me loved being around me, for I emanated what it was that they were able to be within their own divinity. There was a grand plan. In Egypt, in the time of my growth, I had noticed that there was misconceptions, misalignments, infringements. Things had been changed. There were rules that I did not agree with, that I knew within my divine connection that were placed as programming upon our civilization as well as the earth. And I stood forth strongly in breaking and demolishing those traditions, those belief systems, those programmings. My teachers, did I give them a hard time? As the years passed, though, my father understood. He understood my purpose, and he understood that my heart was pure, and he believed in me. So as he could, he would dismiss certain rules, certain laws, and he would allow for me to develop what we had saved. Throughout the time, there was times that through Egypt, what you call it now, the Illuminati, would infringe and influence upon the pharaohs that live within greed and gold and power. There was much distortion within the beings like I that held strong light for all life. Many things that I did not agree upon, that I changed, that I saw the chords and the true intentions behind. I was a catalyst within my time, awakening as a coder, soul's blueprints in all whom would come into my presence. They loved being around me. And some would fall in love with me, whether they were female or male, not realizing that it was the divinity within me, the love, the infinite love that I have for all life, for every being, no matter how lost they are within the darkness of oneself. That is whom they would fall in love with. For I was the essence of sacredness, of love, of oneself, of inner love. There were things that I changed. The mummifications. I did not agree upon this. For through the past times of the Cabal being in charge of Egypt, They would find the beings that had the strongest inner light, the brightest light, the awakened amongst every century, every decade. And they would perform rituals where they would mummify those beings that held strong light. Mummify them. Oh, it's torturous. Alive. And little by little, they would drain that energy using black sorcery, black magic. I will use words that you understand within your time and space. And they will use that light in creational energy in keeping them, the collective, within their darkness, and keeping this time and space within darkness. Therefore, that was one of the things that we first started removing once I was within the power and my father had passed. Also, there was again a misconception, a lie, where they thought that in order to keep the purity of the incarnations of the pharaohs, of the aliens is who we were, to keep it at its purest blood, the brothers and sisters had to marry to keep that bloodline going. I sensed the false light in this, the falsehood of this, and I rebelled. I rebelled to this, for this was not within its truths. For in actuality, twin flame soulmates are born not of brothers and sisters' physicality. We are not our physicality. We are our spiritual essence, our spirits. My brother wanted to keep this tradition, not because he wanted to be with me, but because he was controlled like a puppeteer of the negative aliens, placing thought forms upon people who were not within their hearts, who were followed by only their minds. Much lessons learned there, teaching me to stand forth in my power and stand strong. He knew that he could not say tame me, for I was untamable. None could tame me. I did what I wanted, when I wanted, with a pure intent of helping others. And there was not one obstacle that I could not overcome. See, I knew that I was a fractal of the Divine Mother, of the 13th key, the Divine Mother of creation, as I was in past times. And I had these memories as I grew older and older. I knew I was Nefertiti. I knew I was Isis. And many other divine goddess energies born within Egypt in different times within your time and space of Atlantis and Greece and so on. I knew whom I was, though I dared not share this with others. I treated all around me. I did not like the slave system that they had. Therefore, I treated them with love and respect, looking at them to their eyes, deeply within their eyes, understanding that I was an equal to them. And this is the reason why they loved me. For too long, they had been stepped upon and disempowered and been controlled. And I said, no. You shall retain your jobs here, though within payment, within community environment. And happy, the beautiful beings that work within our civilization, they were. I started breaking off those chains. And not everyone liked this. The elders within our council, they liked their programming, their set ways, their laws of government. Much I had to come across to break and transmute and light those fires in people's hearts, in people's disconnect to their purity of their divine energy. When I came into reign as a pharaoh, it was unheard of that a female would reign over a powerful civilization. And I came forth in a time where we were falling apart. And little by little, we changed things that were holding us back from our true abundance as Egyptians. We changed systems. We change laws, making a very beautiful creation of reflection of one another, like a beautiful webbing that is lit up bright. And as time grew, the lights within our civilization, the lights within people's hearts grew brighter and cleansed and transmuted and taught teachings. Groups of teachers, groups of gifted children. So beautiful it was. See, in your time and space, they've made me seem like this weak feminine. That I am not. that I have not ever been, and that I shall not ever be. And I bring this forth to you, beautiful, divine feminine energies. And I speak to the divine masculine as well, for you carry a divine feminine energy within you as well. Don't allow anyone to tell you whom you are, especially those clouded by the mind. For I came across this over and over and over. There are no limits to limitations. And as time passed, our beautiful civilization creates the brightest upon earth, on the outer crust of earth. And that they did not like. See, the Romans had much hidden. They were controlled by the Cabal, the Illuminati, by their religions and their laws and their keep quiet and follow what we tell you. And the masculine is more important than the feminine. They did not like a empowered feminine like I. And they saw the feathers ruffling that I was creating upon life within their own civilizations. They did not like it. As time passed, we grew and grew, and I was a seer. Therefore, I could see upon the future and know what was to come, and knew that there was much planning for the future, for there was a contract that I had contracted with the Romans, that there was a time that you can say the downfall of Egypt was to come. There was much planning to this and preparation with myself and my family to come. And if I may add, the reason why we wear the eyeliner within the hieroglyphics in your time was because it was a representation of the pineal gland, the eye of Horus. The pineal gland within your mind's eye, in your time and space, this has been distorted. It is said that it is the evil eye. It is said that it is part of the Illuminati. That it is not. For to say this, it is to put a stop, a block upon your own pineal gland, your all-seeing eye, your third eye within your gland here. And when we place the eyeliner around our eyes, it was fused alchemically through alchemy of herbs and metals infused with these properties. And as we lined it, we sacredly, in a ceremony, type of manner daily, would place it around our eyes for the representation of the eye of Horus. And what it would do, it would connect us to the pineal gland, the eye within our pineal gland, within our eye of Horus. It would connect us so that the eye that connects to all the senses, your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, and so on, would now connect to the tunnel of your physical eyes. That's the representation of that, in case you wonder. So now we could see with our physical eyes the spirituality of the energy behind creation, behind what is in front of you. And throughout time, I grew stronger within my ability, stronger with the divine feminine pharaoh I was. And the Romans sought for a way to connect to me, a way to infiltrate our civilization, for they knew of the gold that we had and the books that we had, the ancient literature. And the technology that we held. For in new time and space, there is some sacred knowledge shared still in the walls of Egypt, where you will see different races of humanoids, like Thoth, the bird man, whom is a blue avian. You will see, you call him Anubis, with the dog face. He is Alpha Centaurian, and these remain there so that you can remember that we are just not this human vessel here. We are different races throughout the multiverse. And those hieroglyphics you see of I in different forms of I, with my beautiful crown, with the horns and the circle, the orb within it, was a sign for you to remember of reincarnation, of the truthfulness of your infinite soul, of how I incarnated within these times and space as Isis, Nefertiti, Cleopatra. That was left there for you as an activation for you to remember that we are infinite souls experiencing a human experience in a physical vessel. Can you see me well, Lily?
Yes, you're fine. You're perfectly well.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. We alerted Aurora the screen had gone off. Beautiful. If I may add another teaching. See, our tombs were encased with our items that were connected to us. What happened and the reason why we took our items with our tomb when our vessel came into a completion was not because we thought it is amusing what the lies that have been shared to you. It was not because we thought that we could take these items to our afterlives. Oh no, it was a deeper connection to that. There was some pharaohs that thought this. Not when we reigned within the connection of the Divine Mother fractalizations. We saved our items, brought forth our items because they were an alchemical creation of us, an extension of our energies, and they were amplifiers for when you create something within alchemy, within gold, within metals. It is an extension of you as a tree with many branches. And this is what these objects were. They were objects created with the aid of our brothers and sisters within the races, throughout the multiverse, throughout our galaxy, created sacredly with sacred symbols, sacred frequencies. Therefore, they came with us when we completed the vessel because they were of us. They were an extension of us. And they carried our energies within them, our souls' essences within them. And they were stored there and not meant to be disturbed because they were, you could imagine, like a cluster of energies, perhaps a cluster of crystals energies. That's why they were there. They were activating and maintaining that knowledge and wisdom that was gained throughout that life of a pharaoh. And it was being saved, archived through the collective consciousness of Earth. That is why it was saved. That is its purpose, one of its purpose. In benefit for humanity. If I could explain, it is like a activation, a symbol that you see within perhaps a crop circle that is created, and how it activates pieces of you within your soul's blueprints when you look upon that. It is like that. A memory, a retainer of sorts. Retaining the Divine Mother's energies within that, helping the Divine Mother who is here within the planet, who is the planet of Earth, of Gaia. Pieces of her, grounded, sacredly sealed. And the reasons why people who raided these tombs experienced, say, bad luck was because They entered with an intent of service to self in a manner of money. And these were sealed with sacred energy, sacred alchemy, and to step foot upon these tombs was to step upon sacred lands, sacred spaces that were not meant to be disturbed for, as we mentioned, the importance of their activations on Earth. So they experienced much transmuting. And with that, the karmic energy was brought upon them. And it amplified because of its creator energy within the tomb. My apologies, I strayed from my story. But these things I thought were significant for you to understand. And as time passed, you know him as Julius Caesar. Again, it was a divine plan. For he was a brother of mine, an angel brother of mine, a soulmate that is with me just about every life that I incarnate as the divine mother that I am. And you would know him in your time and space as Archangel Zadkiel. He was an incarnation of him. So there was a connection there. A contract, a soul contract, that we would come into union and try to bring our civilizations together in this manner. But with that, he was too influenced by the Roman rules and laws. And we did conceive a beautiful child through sacred love who would be named as Caesarian within your time and space. In his divine embodiment, though, he was my son in many other lives. When I was Nefertiti, and I had my eldest, King Tut. When I was Isis, and my son Horus, through the birth of Osiris and I's sacred union. Through the fractalization as Mother Mary that I was, Yeshua, Jesus, he is one and the same as Horus. One and the same. However, as you know, there came a time of his demise. There was a plan once more, where I was to find my twin flame. And I knew that the time would come to be for when I has contracted within my incarnations, that I shall have a union with my twin flame to help the unions of twin flames upon earth, upon Gaia, upon me. And that was my beautiful twin flame, Mark Antony. I knew the minute I saw him, and I saw his eyes, that he was my twin flame. Again, incarnations where he was, Ramses, where he was, Osiris, and so on. I recognize his soul. It took time for him, for he was controlled, very much like the other Romans were. Controlled like puppets, with many strings, both from within hidden religion within the Romans, and both hidden within the cords connecting them to the negative aliens. Or I can see his energies, and I can see his blockages, and I can see his cords that were holding him heavy. And I intentionally, within the permission of his soul, started awakening him throughout gatherings. And after Julius Caesar's demise, I ensured that I and my son were safe upon Egypt. And together we grew our bond, and we continued to grow Egypt. Throughout time, years passed, and there came a time where there was, once again, plannings from the Romans to figure out how to become the leaders of Egypt. Octavius Augustus sent Mark Antony to Egypt, thinking that with a plan where he would gain as much knowledge from us so that they could in the future invade us, find our weaknesses. So he traveled the river, he traveled across it. With his troops, and I allowed it. However, still with great awareness and protection. For I was a master. I was a master in this time and space of the elements. I had mastered the elements, and I had mastered speaking and connecting to the mystical creatures, though the humans could not see them. Within this time and space, some could, who were connected within their pineal glands. Everywhere I went, they were there with me. The dragons, the chimeras, the griffins, hundreds and hundreds. For this is when some of the beauties of creation that I created for all life as a divine mother. Pure they are, source energy. And I work with them, and I taught with them. I connected people once more of these long lost teachings. I knew how to work with energy force fields, teach others how to. Classes, teachers, we had such beauty. Beautiful. She needs water.
I wanted to let you know that, as requested by Aurora, we are out of time. We just became out of time.
That's okay. That is all right. We shall continue.
Thank you.
Time passed by fast. I would like to continue, Lily. However, I would like to ask, is there questions awaiting?
Yes, there are questions awaiting specifically about the divine feminine and how to assist today's feminine that are being oppressed by men in their own homes, and how to assist them to see the divinity within them. And other questions, but that's one of the most important ones, I believe.
Beautiful, thank you.
Thank you.
So, since it has passed faster than we anticipated, I shall request that Aurora does a second channeling, and we continue our story of Cleopatra, the last pharaoh. We continue this third week of March, where we will continue the second part of this story, as well as we will give time to be able to answer all your beautiful, important questions to me. And let me see if there is anything else that we would like to share before we conclude this. Yes. The beautiful mystical creatures. These that you might see depicted upon the walls, and though much has been destroyed, there was a time where I could feel my beloved coming forth, Mark Antony, and what it was that we were to create together. For the collective, for the ultimate plan of the ascension. There was a big plan for the ascension and what we were meant to do when we were to come to a completion of these physical lives. And it came Though I knew of what we were to come, I never let my guard down. He did not know I could read his mind, and I could telepathically read all's minds, with the permission of the higher selves, of course. And I knew exactly their little plan. And I had seen within the timelines, for this is the role that I play. I look upon timelines when I incarnate as the Divine Mother, and my role is to keep them strongly forward to the ascension into the 5 dimension that we agreed upon as the collective. And I prepared our beautiful civilization for their coming. Great silence I practice within this time, and I remind you of the power of the silence within your mind so that you connect to your heart and your pineal gland. A beautiful bridge. We have touched base upon this in past channelings. I remind you of this, for when you silence is when you listen to your soul. And when you listen to your higher self, to the connection of you, who you are as the higher self energies upon earth. And I remember him coming off that boat. And I standing forth there, meeting him with beautiful soldiers who were just as free as I. However, they loved me, loved our population, loved who we were, who we had become when releasing and coming into our sovereignty. And together they stood strongly, knowing that they would die for me. Not that I asked of them. However, it was more of a love, experiencing the energy of source, of home here. I dressed in my beautiful headdress with my beautiful golden wings embracing my crown down to my ears, and my beautiful alchemical created crown that amplified my abilities to my divinity, that was integrated into my soul's spine, my soul's blueprints. The beauty of the horns, of the representation of the arc of divinity. And the sphere within it, of the collective source energy within it. And the wings of freedom, the wings of angel wings. As Elohim, seraphim energies we were. These beauties of this crown and the representation of the divine wisdom, the bridge of the arc, like a rainbow upside down, connecting to above, connecting to the heavens. And I stood there strongly and beautifully and confidently, knowing what was to come. And this is where I conclude this story, where I met eyes and soul with my beloved twin flame, Mark Antony, who is the embodiment of the Divine Father, as Archangel Michael in his wholeness, with his brother, his twin brother, Archangel Lucifer Helio. And just about all the vibrations upon earth lifted. You can feel the electricity when our eyes met. And he started remembering who he was. Thank you. Such satisfaction to my divinity. Such love and completion this has given me to share part of our story with you. And I look forward to seeing you in part 2, where we conclude the sharing of I as the last Egyptian Pharaoh, and what it was that happened, and what it has been changed in your time in history of what happened to me. Excited I am to share this with you. And I thank you for being here, sharing this experience with me. For there is much within you that you hold of me. Thank you. I honor you, love you, respect you, and thank you. Beautiful, beautiful children. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed this. Excited to hear this later. I will see you all in our next week channeling, where I will channel from the collective, from the Galactics, from the Raw Collective information, sharing information that is needed to be shared within this time and space. And I will see you the third week as well, where we will share part 2 to the Cleopatra story. May you feel the flame within you ignite once more. May you reclaim your sovereignty once more. May you remember the power of who you are as a beautiful creator being. This is what our intent to this channel has been. Beautiful you are. Thank you, Lily. Apologize for not having to ask questions. Thank you. Love you. Thank you, Minnie, as well. And thank you to all you beautiful, beautiful souls holding space here so that we could channel the beauties of Cleopatra and the beauties of this civilization. Love you all. Love you all. Subscribe, thumbs up. And if you would like to support our channelings, you can go on patreon.com and sign up for the tier 1 of $4.44 to continue aiding these channels. Thank you all. I love you all. Blessings. We honor you, we thank you, we love you, and we respect you. Our infinite love to you.